Everyone, welcome to my weekly edition of Show Me How It's Done. My name is Lauren Urbonis and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Edmonton, Alberta. I apologize for the fact that you cannot see my face. I clicked something and then my little face box disappeared and I didn't want to ruin everything further by pressing buttons, so I have to wait till Nathan comes home to fix that, but hopefully we can still enjoy today's project. So today what we're going to play with is the Winter Owls bundle. This is found in our 2023 to 2024 holiday mini catalog, and you can see there's some great owl images and some really fun dies that coordinate with this suite as well. So some of these will complement your owl silhouettes. And this one here, you can build your own owl and use little trees and a branch there too. So the project that I have for you, I first want to show you where I received the inspiration for it from. So two cards here. The first one, I unfortunately wasn't able to find any sort of slip of paper with the person's name, but I thought it was really cute and I got it as a swap card at a conference that I attended in August. And then this card here is by Betty Sequoia, and I just loved the owls, the night sky kind of theme. And so I decided for today's card, I was going to kind of take that night look, the splatter background in combination with this large owl, and we're going to create this card here. So you can see it is very similar in some aspects, and then we've kind of made a few changes along the way too. So if you want to follow along with me, I will give you all the measurements, or of course you can watch later. Please do say hi if you're watching live, because I don't often get to chat with you guys live anymore, just between some of my kids' appointments and whatnot. But today we're here, and that's really fun. So I'm going to put this up here so you can see what we're doing. I have a fun little couple techniques that I'm going to show you, and you can do them on your card or not. It's up to you, but it's going to be a fun day. So we have a card base. This is Night of Navy. It will be 5.5 by 8.5, and you're scoring down the middle here at 4 1/4. So that's going to make your folded card. For the inside of our cards, we always like to have something to write on. So I'm going to grab a piece of basic white. This will be 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on the inside of my card right now. So any sort of double-sided tape, seal, glue, flat adhesive, whatever you have will work for this. And you're just going to tuck this into the inside of your card. Now I thought it was really cute to add a little detail to my card today. So there's a fun little tree stamp that I found in the Winter Owls set. And I'm going to just stamp that with Night of Navy. It's just kind of a nice winter tree. That's how all our trees are looking right now. We got snow yesterday here in Edmonton and it's pretty settled in. So, oops, that didn't go very well. Oh well, I can always come back and fix that. That's okay. And that's quite all right. Didn't press hard enough. Okay, for the front of my card, here's where we get to have a little bit of fun. But before we do, let's add a piece of gray granite, or smoky slate would also look great. But this piece is 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals because I want that card to just kind of come alive a little bit more. So if I can find dimensionals would be the question. I have a all-day crafting retreat coming up this Saturday, and so I have been busy designing and filming all of those projects for the to-go kits. And then I have a bunch of people coming to my house as well. We're going to play with some bundles and craft away, so I'm super excited. I do those events twice a year, and if you subscribe to my channel here, there will maybe be 1 or 2 peaks of a project in November and December from what we've done. All right, so this guy just goes right in the middle. You should have a nice blue border all the way around. And then we're going to set this to the side. We don't want it at the moment because we need to work on this blue sky. So this Night of Navy piece is 3 3/4 by 5. And we have a couple different techniques that we need to do to it to kind of make it come alive. So the first is going to involve my blending brushes and the Night of Navy ink pad. So to add kind of this dark, shadowy look around the edge and almost make this white space look like it's moonlit bright, I'm going to take a blending brush and go in circles over top of your ink pad just to pick that ink up. And then you're going to go all the way around the perimeter on your blue piece. Okay, so you don't need to do it perfectly, just kind of go roughly around all the sides. It's subtle, but it's a really nice feature. There, can you guys see the difference between the center of my card where it's kind of really light and then the outsides where I've added a little bit of that shadowed look? So that's all you wanted to do. It doesn't have to look even or beautiful. We're kind of covering most of it up, and you can be happy with that. Then we're going to grab a Wink of Stella pen. So this guy here. So because I wanted it nice and juicy, you either need a brand new Wink of Stella or one that has lots of juice. I am going to just squeeze so that some of the liquid starts coming out into this chamber and onto the tip of my marker. You're always going to do that over a scrap because if it makes a mess, better for it to land here. So I've got a bunch of liquid now on the tip of my marker. I'm going to hold it over the paper and tap, tap, tap. You see how pretty that is? It's so shiny. So if you want lots of big dots, pick lots of ink up. And if you want subtle dots, then just keep going with the little bits here, okay? There we go. Now we're getting blotchy. See, it's so pretty. And you can add as much or as little as you like. So because this Wink of Stella does have a bit of liquid in it, it does dry really quickly, but I kind of want to keep going. So I'm just going to heat this paper just for like 5 seconds, kind of go all over it to make sure that there's no residue and nothing that's going to smear. Because the last thing you want is just any sort of liquid that didn't quite dry and then you've got a smudge on here. So you could do this, set it aside, and do all your die cutting. But I've done all that, so I'm going to heat this for 2 seconds. There. Okay, so you weren't going to see any changes of color. It's not like we're heat embossing where it goes from a powdery look to a shiny look. It's just to get rid of kind of the liquid. Do you see this liquid that pools out sometimes? So we're just getting rid of that liquid. And then we're going to keep our scrap paper here for another minute because we have one more blending job to do. So I have cut out that cute little tree trunk and I've cut this from our pecan pie. Now I'm going to take a blending brush though, and I'm going to add a little bit of early espresso to it to give a nice wood green look. Okay, so I've got my little blending brush again. I always start off the paper and just brush really quickly and really gently over your project, and you'll get kind of a two-toned color look. Very simple, easy to do, and all we needed was those blending brushes again. All right, now I'm ready to assemble. You'll probably have to sit here and do a little bit of cutting. So I'm going to take that one away because you have, of course, your owl and the tree and everything still to cut out. But I'm going to assemble this and then you can go from there. Just click pause and come back when you're ready. Okay? So starting with my little tree. That one, as I mentioned, was cut out from Pecan Pie, and I'm going to pop it up onto dimensionals. Quite a few to keep this nice and supported. And we're going to add that to our blue base. Nice little branch right here. Okay, now for the inside of the tree, because you don't want it looking like there's a hole into the middle of nowhere, we kept the little inside piece that was cut out at the same time as this die, and we're going to just put tape or double-sided tape on the back of that and slip it into this open space. Oh, perfect. We do have a couple people watching. Hello. Okay, there you go. So our beautiful little tree is complete. We're going to start working on our owl. So when you cut the owl out, I used basic white for the owl body, and some of these little pieces might not have popped out. So you can just take scissors or take your pick tool and kind of just press those out. I find, because I was doing this for a class, my October club attendees made this as one of their projects. Sometimes the more I use the dies, the less these little pieces want to come out. But they come out pretty quickly with scissors. There we go. Okay, so I have an owl, and he's cute, but if you want to make it a really big wow factor, we're going to also cut out this set of wings. So those are from the gray granite cardstock, and we need to attach them to the back of our owl. So turn him over and grab your coordinating wings. You can kind of see one will fit one way, one will fit the other way. And there's not really much you can do to attach this. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to tape in the back here. Nobody's going to see that because he's on his card and it's going to be easy. But there's not an easy way to add adhesive to this. So grab a little bit of tape, make sure you're not putting any tape where you can see it from the front. As long as there's a couple pieces back there, that wing will stay. And we're going to use a dimensional to support it anyways. One and two. Okay, so before you add dimensionals all over the owl, just bring it back to the front here and let's line it up. So are we noticing here that the wing on the bottom rests on your tree? That means you don't want a set of dimensionals under this wing because otherwise it'll be lopsided. It will be on a different level than your owl and your tree trunk here. So under this top wing, under his body, even under the feathers on the bottom here, you can put dimensionals. But this wing, we're actually just going to use that bit of tape that we have already attached, and we'll take that off and kind of attach him to the tree. But you don't want a lopsided owl. Three, and like I said, take that adhesive off because you might as well use it. And you can add him to the project. There. Okay, I'm going to attach this to the card now. So because this base already has a lot of dimension on it, I'm just going to use a flat adhesive to put it on the card. So I like my tape. You can use seal, anything else you like. And maybe give a nice amount of adhesive just because we are putting quite a few layers on top of this cardstock. Okay, then we have one last thing that we want to do, and that's to add a moon to our sky. So you can quite easily grab a piece of basic white cardstock and some gray granite or smoky sky ink, stamp away, and there's a little die that will cut out the moon. Or you can be daring and you can stamp on our glow-in-the-dark paper. So this is a feature from the holiday catalog. It comes in 6x6 sheets, and you'll notice that's why my moon looks like a different shade than the owl. I didn't use white. I used that glow-in-the-dark paper. You will notice that it does kind of want to smudge a tiny bit, so just don't use a really juicy ink pad on it. But you can stamp a moon with your smoky slate or gray granite on this, and then when you put this card in the dark, it will actually glow a bit. So I don't think you guys can see that much, but if I was pitch black, you'd be able to see that moon glowing really, really nicely. So this guy I've cut out just with the little moon die. I stamped it with gray granite, and I'm going to pop it up with dimensionals. Thought it was just a fun little addition to the project and a fun way to use the glow-in-the-dark paper. And that can go just up in the sky, and you're done. So I did this one in October because I needed something that was kind of spooky for Halloween, but if you don't need Halloween cards, you could just as easily make this a winter wonderland card, or lots of people were saying like, oh, Harry Potter, and kind of using this owl for that theme. So I'll bring these two out as well, just so you can take a screenshot with all three ideas. Here, maybe this way. Take a screenshot with all three of those ideas. And if you're in Vegas and you're watching this magically and this was your card, I would love to know who you were because it was adorable and I'd love to give you credit too. So thank you to everybody who I do swap with and get ideas, and thank you to you guys for watching. So make sure to like and subscribe to my channel so you get notified every time I post a video, but I am posting or live every Tuesday at noon. So I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Bye!